my question is, how important is communication to you, and how drastic was communication to kind of get over that PTSD and get more mentally healthy for you?
So, I mean, it's so much like being in the unit, right? You know, people think that we show up because we like love wiping butts, but we love showing up for our coworkers. You know, like first and foremost, you good? First and foremost, we show up because if we don't show up, someone's getting screwed. And you probably the night before were like, are you back? Are you back? Are you back? Okay. So I know they're all back. I don't necessarily want to go back to work today, but calling out is a big fat no-no in our job because we would screw our coworkers. You know, we already know they're overworked. And we know, and we've seen in dribs and drabs, when they're overworked, there's a tipping point. You know, they may leave. And then when they leave, you're like, what the hell? Like, this job sucks. Like, I don't like running around and in the NICU it was fun because we were all in the same room. So you'd have 7 nurses in one room. So once we did all our feeds and all of our care, like it was done at like 3 in a 1 hour shift, half hour, half hour, half hour. And then in the middle we would like play cards and, you know, do whatever. And it was just like, it was the best. You loved going to work. And I really think that we need to find a way back to loving going to work. And it's not just because some nurses are getting empowered by feeling seen and heard. It's that as a profession, we have empowered ourselves and our community colleagues to feel seen and heard. It is an inside. This is a bottom up revolution. This is not like, you know, oh, like, I have a question for you guys. When you go to a travel hospital, do you look at like, are we going to a magnet hospital? Are we going to do you do your research on the hospital to see like if it's magnet or if it's like?
No, we don't do any kind of research. Maybe we Google it just to like, I guess, see it, but we don't really look into if it's magnet or if it's a teaching hospital. We just want to go there, you know, and do our job and be a help. Like when we went to California, it was nice because they had ratios, but not only did they have ratios, they had a very good unit cohesion. So that's why I think their numbers were so good, is because they had those ratios, but by having those ratios, it allowed them to, you know, talk to their coworkers a little bit more, have better teamwork because they weren't so stressed out with the workload.
But there's definitely a difference between a teaching hospital and non-teaching hospital. You can tell the care and everything comes in full circle.
Yeah, 100%.
And another thing that's really stressful about the nurse, and I noticed within myself, is not being able to provide holistic care. I feel like holistic care was stressed about in nursing school. You have to do this. It's about the mind, body, spirit. But when you get into nursing, you have only time to take care of the body. When do you have time to sit down with your patient and figure out what's going on mentally, or reassure everything's happening or everything's okay, to not fear? You know, the spiritual side is completely lost. So it almost feel like on a macro level of the healthcare system, it feels like we're just taking care of the body and it's just a mechanic shop. We're, you know, putting the patch, changing the oil, take this on to the next. And it's very sad because that puts the burden on you because you feel like you're not doing enough for the patient, because you know how important education is and that's being missed. And, you know, they're coming for readmissions and stuff. And it's really sad.
Yeah, like, that's a good point, because even when you had that patient a couple nights ago, the patient that was like breathing very shallowly, you could say, and you know, a normal, like a nurse that would be like, for example, overworked, they might not be as inclined to do what you did when you told the patient to like relax and take deep breaths, because you know she's breathing shallowly, she gulpy breathing, but when she relaxed and started breathing better, her oxygen saturation went up.
Yeah.
Clearly, when nurses are overworked, they kind of bypass that and they're like, okay, well, we need to intubate, we need to do this, we need to do that, because they're treating a body,
and
but when you actually, in the numbers. But when you actually put the patient as like a holistic human being, you could fix certain things. You know, so that's what's really, really cool about it. If you want to watch or listen to our latest episode,
you can check us out on Apple, Spotify, or watch us on YouTube.